What is going on, beautiful people? It is your boy Tim, the human here, and I'm just about to do some yoga in Derby at Hot Pod. It's kind of like a hot yoga. My best option up here, and I do enjoy it. And it's like going into a womb when you go inside, low lights, sub sort of bassy music. It's really, really cool vibe. But anyway, I recently saw that Vegetable Police, Casey, God bless the guy, just finished a 21-day water fast. So I never sort of promote water fasting as, yeah, everyone needs to go do a water fast, but I know it did a lot for me in my life, and so kudos to you, Casey, for doing it. I'm sure you got a lot out of it, but this is to do with how you broke the fast with raw eggs. Now, I for those that don't know, I last year did a 35-day water fast, self-supervised. And when you water fast for that long, you've got a lot of time to think. You're not doing much, but you've also got a lot of time to research. And one of the most important things that comes up with fasting is, as a popular quote, any fool can fast, but it takes a wise man to break the fast properly. And so breaking the fast became the most important thing for me to get right of the whole fast. And even I got it marginally wrong I chose to eat some watery fruit that wasn't local and that was not quite ripe. I didn't choose it to be not quite ripe, it just wasn't. And if I was to do it again, I'd do it differently. But to break the fast with something so nutrient dense as a raw egg just is I don't know if you didn't research it or what. From all my research, and I think I got carried away with the fruit, and maybe it was because Lauren Lockman always seems to break people's fast with fruit, and so does Dr. Douglas Graham. People will often break their fast with melon and things like that, which is what I chose. A papaya, which is a safe option, but I think the safest or the best or the healthiest option, and because I was so focused on raw veganism and fruitarianism at the time, that's why I did it with raw food. But from the research I was reading and having spoke with a guy from True North, which is a fasting clinic in California, vegetable broths would seem to be the most optimum thing to break a fast with. Now, that's just boiling up some simple vegetables, some carrots, some celery, and then sort of sipping the broth and maybe chewing the vegetables once they've softened up. Even if you are gonna do the carnivore diet like Casey's doing, bone broth came up in a lot of books that I was reading. The Science and Fine Arts of Fasting, and there's a more recent one that was recommending vegetable broths or bone broths. The spiritual, physical, and something rejuvenation of fasting. That book was anyway. But vegetable broths. If I was to recommend one thing to break a fast with, having fasted myself, and fruit is so, especially nowadays because it's been modified and everything, it's so intense. If you were to have fruit, I'd say juice it and mix it with some clean spring water or distilled water. Or in the end, for the first 3 to 5 days of my fast, all I could really eat was cucumbers until I was able to eat local cherries. And cherries are low in the glycemic index, so that might have had something to do with why they were more palatable. But I ate the melon and it burnt my mouth, and couldn't eat it for another week or so. So breaking a fast properly is very important. If you're doing a fast, if you're thinking of fasting, and if you're gonna go 3 weeks, 2 weeks, it starts to get important. Beyond 2 weeks, it's important how you break your fast. Even a week, you want to do it properly, but 2 weeks, you really got to be wise and mindful. So what happened with Casey, for those that don't know, Vegetable Police, is he broke his fast with a raw egg because he wanted some really heavy nutrition straight in, coming out of his fast with sort of raw carnivore diet. And he ended up in hospital, and he said it's the closest to death he's ever felt, with some stuff in his intestine getting it inflamed and all this stuff. Cooked food is more palatable. It's not more palatable. Is easier on the body to digest for sure. So that's why I'd recommend the vegetable broth, 100%. Beyond that, some local ripe fruit, melon or something, or just blend it. I did actually have watermelon blended, mixed with 50-50 with water after a few days, and that started to work all right. But I couldn't just eat melon on its own. After 35 days, that's a lot of time, and the last week of my fast, my gums were really doing some deep work, some deep healing, and then I came back and ate the fruit, and it burnt my gums and felt these issues, and I realised, I thought it was from brushing teeth at first, realised it's from the fruit, man, and I've become desensitized to how damaging fruit can be to the gums when you eat it unripe and in excess. So that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna go hit my yoga now. I'm here a little early so I can get some extra time in on the mat beforehand, as I like to do. Warming up before yoga, warm up before the warm up. But yeah, I hope you're all having a lovely start to your year. I'm active, I'm making content, and stay tuned for more. But yeah, and I just need to add and reiterate, because this keeps coming up and people keep understand getting this wrong. After I broke my fast and a month later I ate animal products, it wasn't because of the fast. It wasn't because the fasting did damage. The fasting didn't do damage. The fasting did healing. It was because I came back to veganism and some of the issues came back, and it made me question that. That is why. So I am a fan of fasting, but I wouldn't tell you to do it. It's a very personal journey and a personal decision. It's not something for jokes. It's not for fun. It's if you are in need of deep healing and you're running out of options. It's something that I went to try to move, and it moved me on in life more than anything that's ever moved me on in my life. Like ayahuasca and all these things that people do, mushrooms, which are great plant medicine healing tools, but something like fasting or a Vipassana, I can't speak on it because I haven't done a Vipassana, but it seems to be in the same realm as fasting. Sitting, dealing with yourself, with your emotions, it will move you on in life. It will call up deep things within you and you will be forced to face them and strip you of your attachments. So don't enter fasting willy-nilly. It's a very personal, conscious decision if you're going to do it, and if you're going to do it, you're going to end it, hopefully. You should end it, and end it properly, and heed my warning from me: vegetable broth, really ripe local fruit, or fruit juice mixed with water, or like Casey if you want to do the other way and you're going to do that, bone broth, something gentle where the nutrients are mixed with water and not just so intense on your body like a raw egg. I hope you're feeling better, Casey. Vegetable police, stay on the journey, bro. You're asking the right questions, I think, when you're doing things like fasting, for you anyway. And I wish you the best, and to everyone watching, Godspeed.